Hi, I'm Greg Hunter. Welcome to USAWatchdog.com. With me back again was one of the three guests I had on election night. Fantastic guest, a brilliant guy in politics and the economy. Has big, deep experience in New York State politics and national politics as well. He was a perfect guest for coverage of election night. Honest coverage of election night. You know, I used Politico and MSM for data and maps and percentages as the votes were coming in. Hardly bastions of right wing conspiracy. The person I had on, who was my co-host for about an hour and a half, was Gerald Celente. Gerald Celente, the publisher of the Trends Journal, one of the top, I think, the top trends researcher in the world. And we watched that little piece of history be put into the record books. Let's just start with the election, where we saw Trump up by these wide margins, documented it, and Shazam, he loses the next day. What's going on?
Well, as we were, and you did a wonderful job, and I was really honored to be on with you. That was one of the most, all the interviews I've ever done. You know, that was
Oh, thanks, man.
spectacular, and it was a moment in history that shows the American people what a banana republic this has turned into. As you were going over all the data and putting it up continually, all of a sudden we saw those sharp, you know, you're showing lines going up where Trump and Biden's under him, and all of a sudden a straight line up with what, 120,000 votes, not one for Trump. And it happened what, in Michigan, it happened in Wisconsin, it happened, I believe, in other states as well. I think Pennsylvania as well. I'm not sure about that, but I know
Oh, yeah,
there were
yeah,
a
it did.
couple of them.
It did. It happened in all the states.
Yeah,
It,
but just straight lines right up as we're viewing this. As you know, what am I, 6 years old? You mean the guy got 120,000 votes, not one person voted for Trump? So, you know, there was a video that someone sent me from Dick Gregory, and he was an older cat when he did this thing, and he had no tolerance for any BS. And he was telling the fellow interviewing him how in 1968 he was on the ballot to run for president, and he was in Chicago, and how they tried to get him off. And you know, he's a tough guy, and the guy who came and tried to, you know, dissuade him from running, said, "Here, come outside, come on with me." And he takes him over. This is the video. Anybody could look it up. And he shows him how, Dick Gregory, how if you press number 4 on the voting machine, number 5 really gets the vote. So let's go back in history. You remember the election in Chicago, where the election in 1960, where Kennedy beats Nixon.
well documented now.
Sudden, there's a vote change in Chicago run by Mayor Daley, the dictator of Chicago. I mean, so this has been going on forever, and it's just so obvious now. And as we're seeing more and more information come out, particularly that video that was just shown out of Georgia, where they're pulling suitcases of ballots from underneath the table after they tell everybody to leave, and it was covered with a cloth. And so the obviousness of it is in front of everybody's eyes. And of everyone that I see covering this at the moment, the best analysis that I see in the overall destruction of our nation and the criminal acts being taken by these political parties is what Dr. Paul Craig Roberts is writing. And he's been going at it day in and day out, nonstop. And I know him very well. And of course, he was the former Assistant Treasury Secretary under Ronald Reagan.
Trickle-down economics.
Yeah, so this guy's no rookie, and he knows the system. And he's heartbroken about what's going on, and every American should be too, because they're robbing us of our freedom, our peace, and our justice.
Now it seems though things could turn around. I don't think that this is all going to stand. The governor Kemp, who I think is a supreme weasel, and you know the there's consistent things throughout the whole thing. They all stopped counting at the same time. They all broke the state record law, the state election laws, which are done by the legislatures. And it's various different ones. A signature match, all of them. They don't want to signature match anything. Well, they're going to find out that Donald Duck signed it, and there's no signature, and there's no folds. And anyway, but now Kemp, who's feeling the heat, the governor of Georgia, after this, checked luggage. Suitcases of ballots come out from under the table. He's now going to do a signature match. Well, that's all over. I mean, all these margins of victory for Biden, I mean, they could just barely push him across. It's all over. I mean, I think it's over in Georgia. And I think if the Supreme Court just says, we're going to do signature match on every single, you're going to do it for, stop the certification, do a signature match. Isn't it over? Isn't it over in Georgia if they do a signature match?
I believe so. Yeah, it's a very red state. And
Trump said the rejection was like 0.2%. And in normal years, it's 3 to 5%. I think in the last election, it was 4% in Georgia. 4%. That's 90, 100,000 votes. Biden's only up by 12,000 votes.
Yeah, and then you're seeing also where Trump did better in places, Democratic places, and worse in Republican places.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are you kidding me? So again, the whole system is rigged. It's a criminal operation. And again, both sides to me, but nothing like we're seeing right now. I'm not a supporter of either political party. To me, they're murderers and thieves by their deeds. You shall know them. I mean, look what's going on now with this PPP money. Yeah, PPP, trickle-down theory, right? PP on top of us. You saw it. What, a couple of 100 companies got most of the money, over $10 million. And we the little people got change.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing to me is it's very sad. I'm very sad as an American to see what's happened to the country that I love and adore.
But do you think this could get turned around, though? I mean, I
yes,
know it's sad.
Do.
It's awful.
I absolutely think it could be turned around. What people don't understand about Trump, I had lunch with his brother, by the way, Robert Trump, back in 2017, after Trump got elected. He passed away recently. Anthony Frieda, who does the great covers for the Trends Journal, invited me there. Robert Trump bought a lot of his artwork. And what they don't understand about Trump is this guy is a true New Yorker in the sense that they don't know how to fight these guys. You could hate Trump for everything that he is, don't like about him. You don't get to build all of these hotels around the world, casinos, on and on and on, office towers. Do you know the people that this guy has dealt with to do those kind of stuff? These politicians are little rookies to him. They're little rookies when you're dealing with the unions, the so-called mafia, whatever else, and trying to get things done. This is lightweight stuff for Trump in his career. And he's not going to stop fighting. And that, to me, is the bottom line.
You had predicted in the past for the election, number one, you predicted he would win. And on election night, you and I both saw he won. Big margins, cruising to the finish line, he won. They panicked, they stopped counting, they started putting all these votes in, but he won. You predicted correctly he won. He would win. So he did win. So it's not giving him something, it's giving it back to him. Give him what he already won back. You said, your prediction was, and hold on, before I go
on.
You said that, listen, if they cheat him, he's going to fight. And he's going to use the powers of the White House, and he's going to turn it around. Do you still stand by that prediction?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Why?
And also,
why?
When we made the forecast that he was going to, we said the election night will be too close to call, and he'll win. Now, this is very important because let's go back to the polls. And again, it's all documented, and we wrote about it as it was happening. The polls that day showed Trump losing by up to 10%. And they had that 10% loss margin going on for several months. So, yet they give credence to these. This polling system is antiquated.
Oh, I think it's
Back
fraudulent.
in the late 19.
No, I'm sorry, Gerald. I think I worked at two networks and 5 TV. This is fraudulent.
Yes.
This is a gaslighting. This isn't. They're stupid. This is too stupid to be stupid.
So that's what they did. What they did was they built it up before it happened.
Yeah.
So they knew that they weren't going to win. So they started putting out all this information that Trump didn't have a chance. And then you're seeing the election is too close to call, and then all of a sudden it's called, what, 2 or 3 days later? And who called it? Oh, AP. Who the hell are you to call the vote? Who the hell are you, one of you little prostitutes, to call the election? And everybody accepts it. This election wasn't called by anybody but the media, the same media that had Trump losing by 10%. Those are the facts.
It looks like they're making headway in all these states right now. Georgia, this is a sea change in Georgia. I mean, politically, now the whole election's a hot potato. Kemp can't just sit back there. And I think a lot of these governors like Ducey wouldn't take a call, governor in Arizona, while these devastating fraud hearings are going on in his state. He certified the election in Arizona. Wouldn't take a call from Donald Trump. And I think it's because they think that they're under cover of the media blackout. But hey, there's the internet. What do you think about these? And these are Republicans. Kemp and Ducey, both Republicans. What do you think about the Are they going to get away with this media blackout of this fraud?
Well, not when it comes down to the facts and they sue and they're moving forward with this. Then look, they're just members of the club. That's what people don't understand. That they never accepted Trump in either in the Republican Party as well because he's not a member of the club. He's an outsider. They didn't want him to win. So they don't support him. He's a different character than them. These politicians, look at Biden. I talked about Trump. Again, I'm not nuts about Trump. He's not my kind of guy. A lot of things that he did I don't agree with. I agree with his foreign policy in terms of trade, closing the borders, totally opposed what he's doing to Iran and Venezuela. But again, the motto of the Trends Journal is think for yourself. So I'm not saying this because I like Trump. What I'm saying is that Trump is not a member of the club, and these are club members. Look at Joe Biden. The guy never worked a day in his life. He's been sucking off the public tit for almost 50 years. That's who these little boys and girls are. Again, I've been there. These are the people I hated in high school and college that wanted to be class president and head of the student council. And here's the reality, Greg. We haven't gotten out of high school. This is high school we're in.
What do you think the path for victory is now that you're looking at this? All these, I'm sure you're watching the devastating one after another. It shows this similarities of all this. The thuggery, the removing of the GOP poll watchers. They did it in Georgia. They did it through a ruse in there. Otherwise, they would in other places they just beat them up or had agitators, force him out or get him arrested, whatever. But not doing any signature matching, dumping all these ballots, shutting down at the same time, all in Democrat-controlled strongholds. What do you think the path? How is he going to win this? Is he going to have to be in the Supreme Court? Is the Supreme Court going to come in and say you need to do signature forensic audit in every single state? I mean, if that happens, it's over, doesn't it?
If that happens, it's over, of course. And I think it's going to go to the Supreme Court. And it's important to also note that when George Bush beat Al Gore in that hanging Chad's election, again, more BS, down in Florida back in 2000, you had three former that were going to be Supreme Court people that were on the Bush's legal team: Barrett, Kavanaugh, and Roberts, and now they're in the Supreme Court. So it favors Trump.
And is there a pathway for him to go without that? Could he just force, like in Georgia, if they do this recount in Georgia and they go, signatures don't matter, isn't he going to go to the Supreme Court and say, listen, this is the same in every state? This is, Rudy Giuliani was laying out his very first press conference. He says they all quit counting at the same time. They all had the extemporaneous idea to do this at the same time. He's laying out a RICO case, organized crime.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what they're going to do? And say, look, come on. The rejection rate is 0.2%. It's 3 to 5%. I mean, that's 100 in all these states. That's 200,000 votes, 150,000 votes. It's way past the margin of Biden's phony victory. So isn't that what they're going to do?
I don't know.
But you
but
think he wins?
I think it's going to go to the Supreme Court. That's my assessment.
And you think what happens there?
I think Trump, they'll come up with something where something has to be redone. Maybe they'll call for a re-election, or in certain states, I don't know. Or like you said, a
signature match. You don't have to have a new election if you just signature match.
They're already wiping elections off, voting off some of the machines already, haven't they?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
They're trying to cover their tracks.
Yep.
But the ballots are still there, and the signatures don't match. And it's a lot.
And all the people that are dead that voted, I don't know.
Well, this is all. Trump even said in his speech, which of course the mainstream media ignored, including the evil, treasonous weasels at Fox. He said that it's the ballots, it's the mail-in ballots. Well, unless they're putting them in a pile and shredding them, and they've done some of that too. They're still there. I mean, that's what they don't want to do. They don't want to do. They all have that weakness. Signatures don't match. Signatures are invalid. In Wisconsin, they had to, and they're really strict about it. You have to have a letter requesting a ballot. They don't have the letters. I mean, isn't that's the quick, fast way not to have a re-election? Just do a forensic audit.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They just want to certify the election. Dishonest weasel, certify the fraud, and go, okay, eat our fraud. You lost. Why don't you quit?
No, he's not going. Again, he's not going down. And they don't understand that about him. As I said, they don't understand what a fighter this guy is. He didn't get to where he is by being Mr. Easygoing and do what you want to do. That's not who he is. He'll fight to the end.
And just so I get this on camera, nice and clean and clear, your prediction for Donald Trump's second term, yes or no?
I don't know. I would say.
Does he get a second term?
I don't know. I can't make that. It has to be whatever happens with the Supreme Court. That is going to determine what the outcome is.
You think he has the advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the trends coming up. Of course, there's a big question mark in the presidency because that's a big hole in the whole thing. I had on my weekly news wrap up, the dollar is down 4%. Actually, Bo Polney called this, another guest on the night of the election, said the dollar's going to, Yom Kippur, the dollar's topped out right here and it's going to be going down. 4.2% later, it's down below 91. It's taking a big hit. Down 4% in 5 weeks, which is a big hit for a currency used around the world in 70% of trade. What are your trends for 2021? It's a twofer.
Yeah, the dollar it's down to April 2018 levels. That's what it just hit. And you're seeing the euro going up, the Canadian dollar going up. They shouldn't be going up at all. One of our top trends is the Greatest Depression. Lives have been destroyed around the world. This is unprecedented, Greg. There's something bigger than politics to me about what's going on. What do they say? There are more galaxies than grains of sand on Earth. To me, this is satanic. What they are doing to people's lives and destroying their businesses is unprecedented in world history. And it's not only in the United States, it's worldwide. except China, of course, where the virus allegedly began. They're wide open. So one of our top trends is, unfortunately, China 21st century. And that means that the 20th century was the American century. The 21st century is going to be the Chinese century. They're the only major economy in the world where we're going to be seeing positive gross domestic product growth. They're wide open over there. One of our covers back in March was Tank Man 2.0. Tank Man was that guy in Tiananmen Square standing in front of the tank. And we had the COVID tank and a guy standing in front of it with and is again another great Anthony Frieda piece of work of art, and with a background of Mao Zedong. And it was the Chinese way you must obey. Could you imagine people walking around with these worthless things on, doing news broadcasts with nobody around them? And we used to make fun of the Chinese for wearing these things. The reason they wore these and wear them in China is not to stop the virus, because if you read on the box, these masks do not eliminate exposure to the risk of any disease or infection. They wear them because of the filthy air pollution, of which 1.4 million Chinese die a year. The Chinese way has taken over in the Western world. We no longer have democracies. We don't have republics. We got little slimy boys and girls, governors, mayors, chancellors, prime ministers, presidents, telling people what to do. You don't count. I'm in charge. I'm a little slimy piece of garbage crap like that little Newsom character in California. Get back in your house. You can't go out and play. What? And there's that slime ball up in that, French laundry factory, or laundry, whatever it is, French laundry in Napa Valley at $400 a head with a whole table full of people. It's okay for them. And then that little mayor over there that they got in San Francisco, Breed or Breedless, whatever her name is, same thing. And then you got the clown boy down in Austin, Texas, telling everybody to stay home as he goes to Mexico. And then you got one after another. They all get caught and they come up with, I apologize. What apologize? You're sorry you got caught. Look at these people that are destroying restaurants, bars, retail. But I'll tell you what, you're not essential. Walmart's essential. Costco's essential. Target's essential. You're just a piece of little crap, a plantation worker on Slavelandia. So shut your mouth. They are destroying this economy in ways that we have never seen before. What is going to be some of the trends? You're going to see protests like you've never seen before. It's happening in other countries, not that much in America. Hey, it just happened over here in Staten Island. As a matter of fact, our accountant for Occupy Peace and the Trends Research Institute, Neil Pacifico, a paisano, lives down in Staten Island. When the sheriffs came and arrested the guy for opening his bar, there were about a couple of thousand people out there protesting. And I said to him, Neil, how come the people didn't go against the police that arrested the person? He said it was the sheriffs. And he said people kept saying, oh, they're just doing their job. No, they're not. That is not their job, to disobey the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence.
Boom. They swore an oath to uphold it.
The Bill of Rights.
They swore an oath to uphold it.
Yes. They are the ones that are destroying us around the world. Look what those French guys, little clowns, are doing. Look at those little lowlifes in the UK. How about the FUCK? Yeah, how about that one? How about what those little boys and girls did in Australia, beating people up, taking women, throwing them down on the ground because they wouldn't put a mask on? It's them. They are the ones, because if these little COVID cops, these tough guys with all in their military drag and all that armament on them and their guns, if they didn't have all their other sick people around them threatening you, these rules that they're making up would never be enforced. And we, the people of the United States, would be free to live our lives. Again, you get the magazine. All we do is put in facts in there. 94% of the people that died from the disease had 2.6 pre-existing chronic conditions. The recovery rate from people 1 to 20 years old is 99.997%. The average recovery rate is 99.7% or 8%, depending on whose numbers you look at. What are you locking down everything for? What are you locking down everything for? So you're asking me what's going on. We're living hell on earth.
They're doing this on purpose. They're wanting to destroy the economy.
It is the Great Reset. You saw it. It's in black and white. That guy wrote the book, The Davos Creep. It's there.
They're destroying the economy.
The multinationals are taking over. You ask me what I support about Trump. I support about his policies about trade. What I got to buy Chinese crap for? I want to buy American.
Hold on a minute, stop.
Local. All these little liberals. Oh, buy local, buy local, buy local. Oh, but don't buy American. Oh, no.
But you're saying that they're destroying the engine of small business. So Amazon can be delivering everything. Stay in your house. Amazon will deliver it. Oh, you need something in the store? Go to Walmart. They're essential. Incidentally, so are lottery tickets, massage parlors, and liquor stores. They're all essential, but not church.
Liquor stores are essential.
Yeah, but not going to church. Oh, and protest. I mean riots. Riots are essential as well.
They're essential, but only if you're a Black Lives Matter.
But you're saying they want to destroy. They're doing this on
or
purpose.
Antifa.
But they're doing this on purpose. They're wanting to destroy small business and raise up the corporations.
You got it. It's right in front of everybody's eyes. How much more proof do you need? They're putting the mom and pops out of business. They're gone. The streets are dead. At night, 10 o'clock at night, it's a ghost town up here. New York City, dead. Midtown, gone. No neon lights shining bright on Broadway. One place after another going out of business. People have put their whole lives into this. Gone. Gone. And they're making this crap up. I got a little piece of garbage, like a Cuomo, a daddy's boy, a little Andy Cuomo, like his arrogant little brother, who would be nobody if daddy wasn't Mario, telling me that when you sit down in a restaurant, it's okay to eat without a mask on, but when you stand up, you got to put that mask. Go screw yourself. You're making this crap up. 6 feet apart. They have a farmer's market out here. I don't go anymore. People waiting. 6 feet apart. It's outside. Hey, stupid. You're outside. The wind is blowing all over. What the hell you telling me I got to stand 6 feet apart? Who the hell are you? I am your leader. All aboard. Next train to Auschwitz. And make sure you put on that mask. Don't you fight back. We're in charge. Again, these police that are disobeying the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, they are the problem. They are the problem. The cops up here in Kingston, they don't bother you with this stuff. You know who does? The sheriffs. My friend was walking down the street without a mask on. Sheriff's car stopped over. How come you don't have a mask on? He says, nobody around me. You're supposed to wear that mask. You walked by those people before that were sitting outside in a restaurant. You didn't have a mask on. But if you're a Jamie Dimon and your J.P. Morgan Chase rigs the precious metals market and you get fined a lousy $900 million after destroying the lives of millions of people that play those markets and believe that precious metal prices are going up, but you rigged them, and you probably made billions of dollars in rigging them. Where are all those tough cops with taking him out? Oh, no, hey, they're too big to jail, man. Take it easy, Celente. You're just a little boy over here. We suck up and bow down to those big guys. I'm telling you, Greg, these police have to stop violating the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. If it wasn't for them, our economy would be open and the people that want to do business would be doing business, but all they're doing is selling fear. They just, in Los Angeles, they just locked down the place again. Look at the health minister or whatever she is of Los Angeles. A skinny, dead-looking woman. Look at the clown that's the health expert over there in Pennsylvania. Put his picture up. Rachel Levin. This guy has about 6 cheeks. And boop, 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 boop. You're telling me how to be healthy? Let me get this straight, Junior. Oh, no, he got in a fight with a reporter because the guy called him sir. He's Rachel now. Yeah, how about Lola? You know, L-O-L-A, Lola. Don't give me your crap. I have an honorary doctorate from the National University of Health Sciences. The first book I worked on was Natural Healing back in the 1980s. I know a thing or two about building your immune system, fat boy or fat girl or skinny dead one. Don't you tell me what to do. I will do it. I'm an American. I'm a nobody. I'm one of the clowns around you, and I'm going to report you for not wearing a mask. All right?
So this is the big trend of 2021. This reset. What else is coming down the pipe?
Well, there's the other things too. You know, you're going to see a whole new age movement because when people lose everything, they got to start saying, you know, oh, I have to find a different part of life. So they start doing that kind of thing again, trying to resurrect to a higher level. And I'll tell you a big one, the Roaring 21s. Young people, this is an old person's disease. They don't know anybody. Oh, the New York Times had somebody 14 years old died in, you know, Albuquerque or somewhere. Oh, yeah, they were like 350 pounds, you know, something, or had other pre-existing chronic conditions. Young people, this is an old people's disease. They want to go out and play. Speakeasies, Roaring 21s. Huh. They want to have a great time. Could you imagine telling a young person, oh, no dancing, no singing, no hugging, no kissing? Could you imagine? Stay in your room, don't go out. So you're going to start seeing some big pushback on that. Some of the other ones over here we have, we're going to see a movement for freedom, justice, and peace. And it may even take the form of a religion. Not a religion of you know, this is your chosen God, but broader than that, and it will be global. People are going to unite for freedom, peace, and justice because it's being robbed from them. Look what's going on in Germany. They just passed a law, the parliament, about 2 weeks ago, where they now give the chancellor full authority, as they did with Hitler back in 1933.
Wow.
You should see the protests going on there. And again, these slimy little coppers, COVID coppers, huge water cannons. These are people, families out there protesting because they don't want this to happen again. It's not supposed to be like that. So they're protesting this big time. And then you're seeing the same thing happening in France when they try to pass this law that you can't take pictures of cops beating up people or doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And millions of people took to the streets and they backtracked on it. Then you're going to start seeing demonstrations erupting around the world. They were already going on in 2019 because when people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose it. They had poverty, crime, violence, government corruption. You're going to start seeing protests erupt around the world like we've never seen before. And my greatest fear is, as a trend forecaster, war. Because when all else fails, they take you to war. To show you how ignorantly stupid the people are and how they follow their moronic leaders, another little boy born on third base and thought he had a home run, George W. Bush. Yeah, almost a caricature from Mad Magazine. The economy was in recession. The dot-com bust just happened right before he got elected. All of a sudden, 9/11, all our rights are taken away. His popularity rating went from, it was going below 50% after he just got elected to almost 90%.
Yeah, 80 something, 87, something like that.
Yeah. And remember, Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al Qaeda. And everybody swallowed it. Just like they swallowed Bush's crap, they're swallowing the crap that the mainstream media, by the way, sold that war. We had it in detail in our Trends Journal of how many people they brought on that were opposed to the war and how many people they brought on that supported the war. Fair inaccuracy in news reporting. Fair was an accuracy in reporting. Had all the data. And they're doing the same thing now. They don't have people on saying, these masks are useless. The CDC said they were useless. New England Journal of Medicine, World Health Organization. They just changed it in June. They don't have people saying that. They don't have people saying, you never hear people saying, build up your immune system, get strong. You don't see people saying, that this is killing, we should be taking care of the people that are the most susceptible to it and leave everybody else alone.
In closing, any other big trends that you want to get out there? That this is going to be in Tuesdays. This is Saturday, the Saturday Night Post. Your magazine comes out every Tuesday online, and you also don't you send out a physical magazine as well?
No, it's not physical anymore.
No. Okay, so online Tuesday you break it out every Tuesday, 4 times a month, which is unbelievable.
Oh.
I mean, you were telling me. I think
we put every ounce of energy into this magazine. You have no idea. You have no idea how hard we worked. The last issue was over 100 pages, not one advertisement. We don't take money from anybody other than subscribers. So it shows us we're not peddling BS. We're just putting the truth out there. We're showing you this is what's going on. This is what it means. This is what's next. And here is the trend opportunities and the trend to watch out for that are going down. By the way, there's going to be a youth revolution.
Another trend.
Yep. You're going to start seeing them rise up. And the old people aren't fighting at all. They're dead. They're dead. The youth they've had it. A whole young group is going to start marching against this. Their lives are being destroyed. They have no jobs. College towns are ghost towns.
Yeah.
It's dead. When I was a young guy, when we used to go out? After watching all in the Saturday Night Live back in the days of Belushi, that ended at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's when you went out. And now the streets are dead at 10 o'clock, 9:30 at night. You got to close your restaurant at 10 o'clock. Well, I say 10:03. No, 10 o'clock. How many people could gather? Well, we have 25%. Well, I say 50%. Why, I say go screw yourself. Look at that other boy, Murphy, over there. Another clown of a piece of crap, garbage, slimy politician there in New Jersey. You saw that tape of the Jersey girls calling him out
Oh,
as his family sitting around the table.
yes.
Oh, it's okay for sick. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You could do that. And it shows you what a gutless coward they are. Here these women are calling him out, and this is what Murphy's doing. He's eating. Well, yeah, man, you're not a man. You got a pair of cojones smaller than a mothball. Or maybe smaller than that guy, woman, whatever, Rachel Levin. You got to put her picture, his picture, that picture up there. That's who these people are. Well, how about Nipple Rings Cuomo? Look at the freak show you got in front of you. When are the people going to stand up for freedom, peace, and justice? That's our only way out of this. If anybody's going to let a politician or some slimy, low-life bureaucrat that sucks their way up to get that job because they could probably never get one anywhere else, if you're going to listen to them, all aboard. Next train to Auschwitz. And don't forget to put on your mask.
Your cover of this Tuesday's Trends Journal is it's about the mask. Is that what it is?
It's mask murder.
Oh, mask murder. Okay, good. I'll put up the subscription page. There's also some free information on the Trends Journal, trendsresearch.com, actually. You are the publisher of the Trends Journal. The subscription page will be up in the after the interview section. For you folks on YouTube, just go up to the right through. I always put all links are found on USA Watchdog. Gerald Celente, thanks for coming on USA Watchdog. You did a great job on election night and a great job here. Gerald, thanks for helping us here on USAWatchdog.com.
Well, thank you. And please, everybody that's listening in, do what you can to support USA Watchdog. I mean, Greg Hunter is really putting it out there as best he can, you know, and we have to unite. As I said, this is a time for freedom, peace, and justice because they're going to start blackballing all of us. They're not going to allow us to speak out. It's the Chinese way. You must obey. So do what you can to support Greg Hunter and Watchdog USA.
You're very kind. My prediction is there's going to be one heck of a reversal and Trump will be the winner.
All right.
Thank you for joining us today on USAWatchdog.com.